here's a great story. Jason Aldean is a big hit song out, and it's just been climbing and climbing and climbing in the charts. Try That in a Small Town is the name of the song, and he is just becoming a huge superstar. He's a big star already.
I love my country, I love my family, and I will do anything to protect that. I can tell you that right now.
I want to show you his whole response there to what has transpired, because you see, he came out with this song. He came out a while back. It really wasn't that big a deal until, well, some academics said, hey, wait a second. This is actually really discriminatory, and this is really racially charged, and he's talking about lynching. Let me share with you some of the words. If you're watching this on Facebook right now, you can see on the screen these words, but he's talking about sucker punch somebody on a sidewalk, carjack an old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. Yeah, you think it's cool? Well, act a fool if you like. Cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough? Well, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here, we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't try that in a small town. And the problem became, apparently he had some video of the Black Lives Matter protests on YouTube. And so people went sort of nuts. And like I said, the academics are saying, wait a second, this is really racially charged. I mean, I read the lyrics. I don't get that. I kind of get the point that, you know what, you live in a small town. Everybody kind of knows who you are. And there's an expectation, right? I wish we had more of this in society, an expectation that you live up to your family's reputation and that you try and make your family proud and everybody knows each other. And you just don't step out of line like that, because you know what? It's just not gonna fly. Anyway, it was very, very angrily received by a lot of various liberals, and consequently, country music television decided to pull it. They said, okay, this song cannot play on country music television, even though Jason Aldean changed out some of the video that you saw there, so it wasn't actually going back to those Black Lives Matter protests. Anyway, nonetheless, it became this massive, massive problem. CMT cancels the thing, and what do you know? It's kind of like a Bud Light moment. Americans fire back. Because you know what? I think Americans that like country music, or maybe just like America, they get it more than CMT does, shall we say, more than Bud Light does, shall we say. I want to play for you Jason Aldean's response to this whole ordeal. Here he is just recently speaking at a concert, and wow, like he nails it. He nails it, and the crowd goes wild. Let's watch.
I love my country, I love my family, and I will do anything to protect that. I can tell you that right now. Here's what I want to say. A lot of things out there, and one thing I love, you guys know how it is this day and age, cancel culture is a thing. That's something that if people don't like what you say, they try and make sure that they can cancel you, which means try and ruin your life, ruin everything. One thing I saw this week was a bunch of country music fans that could see through a lot of the bullshit, all right? I saw country music fans rally like I've never seen before, and it was pretty badass to watch, I gotta say. Thank you guys so much. So I have people asking me, man, everything's going on with this song. Do you think you're gonna play it tonight? Do you think you're not gonna play it? And I said, you know, people that come to my shows, you guys know what I'm about. You know what I stand for. I've never shied away from that at all. And I know a lot of you guys grew up like I did. You kind of had the same values, the same principles that I have, which is we want to take our kids to a movie and not worry about some asshole coming in there shooting up the theater, right? So when somebody asked me, hey man, you think you're gonna play this song tonight? The answer was simple. The people have spoken, and you guys spoke very, very loudly.
Yeah, the people have spoken. So, of course, he goes in and he plays the whole song, which you can see on YouTube. Look, the people have spoken, and it's very interesting to see these kind of uprisings. I think you saw a very similar thing going on with Bud Light and, frankly, the entire Anheuser-Busch franchise, if you would, because they get a lot more beers than just Bud Light. Sales have plummeted. The shares have traded down so significantly. The company's lost some near $30 billion. Amazing the CEO still has a job. He's laying off hundreds of people. But it does speak volumes in that Americans can only be pushed so far. At some point, they're like, no, not having this. Interesting. So he is number one on the Billboard charts right now. So good for Jason Aldean. Good for him for sticking up for what he believes in. Hey everyone, Trish Regan here. If you enjoyed that clip, please do me the favor of subscribing to the channel. Just hit that little subscribe button right over there. Did I do that right? Not quite, but you know where it is. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so that you get the alerts, and I'll see you back on the show.